Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Kyle Clark. Tonight, a 16-year-old is recovering in the ICU after the latest crash involving a chase by Aurora police. That boy's father says that the fleeing driver and APD both bear responsibility.
9 News reporter Spencer Soisher is joining us now. And Spencer, Aurora police officers were following their pursuit policy.
Yeah, they were chasing a driver who was out on parole, who also has a lengthy criminal history. APD says that he was driving under the influence and was driving a stolen vehicle. The boy's father blames the suspect, but also says this policy made a bad situation even worse.
They absolutely put my kid in danger, and the 3 other kids that were in that car.
Brian Shea's son, Kalen, was just doing what high schoolers do, riding in a friend's car after an ultimate frisbee tournament.
Saturday he had played all day, and he and his friends just wanted to go to the pool to cool off.
They never made it to the pool. Instead, Kalen is now here in the ICU at Denver Health.
So his jaw is broken in 2 spots. He's got breaks on his sinus plates, and he had some brain bleeds in 3 spots, and his brain is swelling.
You can still see the spot where it happened. Aurora police were chasing a parolee, Michael Freda, when he crashed into the car Kalen was riding it.
It's very scary, yeah.
Aurora police say the truck was stolen and they suspected Freda was driving under the influence. Under APD's pursuit policy, either of those offenses would now be enough to authorize a chase.
I wasn't aware until after the accident, and a friend texted me and said that they had just changed the policy. I was nauseous, I was sick, I was angry. It was just a flood of emotions. You know, how could this happen? Why did this happen?
Aurora police say their pursuit policy helps deter car thefts, but Shea sees a different consequence.
And here's this sweet boy upstairs fighting just to walk again, just to get his functions back. It's completely avoidable.
Aurora police say the pursuit lasted about 12 minutes. According to the jail log, Freda is in jail tonight on charges of vehicular assault while under the influence. Live in Denver, Spencer Soisher, 9 News.
A Pueblo police officer hit and killed somebody today in pursuit of an armed shoplifting suspect. Happened this afternoon at the famous footwear. Then the person ran behind the businesses in that area toward CSP Pueblo's office. Pueblo police say their officers ran after that person and followed in a patrol car. Police say they told the person to drop the gun before they hit and killed that shoplifting suspect with a patrol car.
Life without parole. That was the sentence today for the man who was convicted of throwing the rock that killed Alexa Bartell. In April, a jury convicted Joe Koenig of first-degree murder, among other charges. A first-degree murder conviction means life in prison with no chance of parole. And the judge added another 60 years to Koenig's sentence for those other charges. Back in 2023, Koenig and 2 other teens drove around Jefferson and Boulder counties throwing rocks at oncoming vehicles. One went through Bartell's windshield, killing her instantly. In court today, Koenig apologized to Bartell's family.
What I wanted to say first today, it's what I've wanted to say ever since April 19th. And to the family and friends of Alexa Bartell, I'm so sorry. I know that nothing I say can bring Alexa back. Nothing I say can give you one more minute with her, and I know that it is my fault that she is gone.
2 others pleaded guilty to lesser charges and testified against Koenig. Nicholas Karolchek got 45 years in prison. Zachary Kwok got 32.
You better bring their receipts if you're going to accuse someone of treason and being part of the biggest crime we've ever seen. That today from the attorney for a Coloradan accused of rigging the 2020 election. A Coloradan, former Dominion voting system executive Eric Coomer, is suing MyPillow guy Mike Lindell, suing him for defamation for Lindell's election rigging claims. Lindell's defense is that he thought he was telling the truth when he said that Coomer had rigged the election. Here's Marshall Sellinger.
Day 2 of the defamation case against MyPillow guy Mike Lindell saw former Dominion voting system executive Eric Coomer on the stand all day. In the afternoon, Coomer's attorneys showed a clip from Mike Lindell's Frank Speech podcast in 2021 where Lindell said, "You were treasonous. "You are a traitor to the United States of America. These are things that I have evidence of. The evidence is there." Yet in their opening statement, Lindell's lawyer said they would not be showing evidence of 2020 election rigging in court. Instead, his attorney said this trial is about whether Mike Lindell believed his statements were true at the time he made them. It doesn't have to be true, but he has to believe at the time he made them that they were substantially true. Coomer took the stand for the entire day, and near the end, he was asked why he's in court before a jury. He said, "Ultimately, it's to try to regain some semblance of my life. I didn't just lose my livelihood, I lost my life as a direct result of statements by Mr. Lindell accusing me of being a traitor." The jury was also shown this post from Lindell's social media with a reply from a random user on Saturday saying, "Time to put Eric Coomer and everyone with Dominion on death row." Coomer's attorney asked, "Are you continuing to fear for your life through the course of this trial?" Coomer said, "Yes." Coomer will be back on the stand in the morning. In Denver, Marshall Zellinger, 9 News.
Ooh, it was a chilly, rainy, foggy day around our state. This time-lapse video from Lookout Mountain Camera shows, well, nothing. Kind of foggy.
Spooky.
Lots of fog. Spooky is right. And it just keeps rolling in. Kathy, what, you said it's raining again?
Yeah, I just poked my head outside the studio door. We've got some light showers in Denver. We've been kind of waiting on those all day. A cool day, a calmer day, and now there are a couple of showers coming off the foothills moving into Denver. Severe threat very low, kind of that east to northeast moist layer of air coming in this afternoon. Kept temperatures in the 50s all day, which is where they are right now. We were about 10 to 15 degrees milder this hour last night than the numbers I just showed you. Really not a ton on the radar. There's some scattered showers along the New Mexico line and a few coming off I-70 toward the metro area. Kind of watching for that, but dropping some pretty good rain in areas like Vail, about a ½ inch or so. And this little tiny storm coming off the foothills will bring rain to Roxborough, Highlands Ranch, and Centennial. We had a brief shower just move through the metro area, but all of the heavy storms that will impact travel are off to the east. Airport delays expected tonight and tomorrow. Dallas and St. Louis and Chicago, that's where the hail-producing storms are. Temperatures aren't going to move a whole lot overnight. Weather headlines include another check of the radar coming up. We have storms to talk about tomorrow ahead of a warmer weekend. All those details in just a bit.
Tonight, the Boulder Stars lit up in a symbol of hope and unity against hate after the attack on Pearl Street.
12 people were injured when a man threw Molotov cocktails at a group gathered peacefully in support of the Israeli hostages. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us from CU Boulder. Janelle, you've learned what the student community is doing in response.
Leaders of Jewish community or student groups say that they're thankful that this didn't happen during the school year when likely more people would have been participating in this walk, including students. But the fact that this happened at all is a tragic reminder that community needs to be stronger than hate. Summer usually silences a college campus, but the last few days, CU Boulder has been busy, speaking to media, addressing hate, and checking in on one another.
The Jewish community and the larger community, this was a trauma that affects a lot of people.
Sunday's attack on a peaceful gathering calling for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza has the country talking. But in an interview with CNN, Ileana Funk, executive director of CU Hillel, says she's talking with students who feel the attack hits closer to home.
This is a walk I've participated in. I participated in it with my 6-year-old son and with several of the CU Boulder Hillel students.
She says she's thankful more students weren't participating in the walk because fewer students are on campus in the summer. But Funk says she has seen increased security around Boulder.
That's something that makes us feel safer.
She hopes strength serves as protection too.
I share with others that the antidote for anti-Semitism can be Jewish joy.
She says she's supported making space for Jewish students in Boulder and will continue to do so despite opposition.
We have 3,000 undergraduate Jewish students at CU Boulder and a thriving Jewish community here in Boulder and throughout the state of Colorado. And something like this, for unfortunate reasons, brings us together and makes us stronger as we navigate the days ahead.
CU Hillel is hosting a community vigil tomorrow alongside Boulder Jewish Colorado. That event is taking place at 5 at Boulder JCC for anyone that would like to attend. Live in Boulder, Janelle Finch, 9 News.
The family of the man accused in the attack in Boulder is in ICE custody tonight. Immigration agents are investigating whether the suspect's wife and 5 children knew anything about his plan to firebomb Jewish people in Boulder. Though his family's immigration status is unclear, the White House is saying they could be deported as early as tonight. The Trump administration says it is now cracking down on people in the country without authorization due to visa overstays, even if they're not accused of a crime. The man accused in the attack in Boulder entered the country legally on a visa from Egypt, then it expired. The acting director for ICE announced the shift in policy on Fox News Monday. The government had previously focused on arresting and deporting people who entered the country without authorization, not on people who overstayed visas.
The Trump administration is rolling back federal guidance directing hospitals around the country to provide emergency abortions for women in life-saving situations. Democrats in Colorado have worked to adopt that federal policy at the state level. Governor Jared Polis signed the bill into law earlier this year, requiring hospitals to provide emergency care, including abortions, to patients regardless of their insurance status or ability to pay. The Trump administration said today it will no longer enforce that policy nationally. Doctors and advocates are already sharing their fears that women won't get emergency abortions in states with strict bans.